Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Yay, a brand new day. Last night it was kind of chill, but it was a starry sky when I went out walkies, and it had been kind of raining earlier, so it was nice when I went out. It's raining right now. It's gray and dim outside, so there's the weather report. There's still spiders around periodically. I don't see a lot of them. It's getting colder. I mean, they're moving inside, but I don't see a ton of them anymore. And here we are, mid-October, and I still have my window open, just so my kitty cat can get in and out. And the other day, I got a mosquito bite. Mid-October, I get a mosquito bite because it's still so warm. Yay. Life is life. I mean, really, life is life. There's nothing I can do to change things. So, joy. But still, it's okay. And my kitty cat is still doing fine. She's still existing and doing good. She's weird as usual. She's a cat. So, life is life on that too. And of course, for the front loading, if you like or hear... That isn't even English. If you like what you hear or see at any time, if you could interact with the YouTube algorithms and hit the like button, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. And of course, if you haven't subscribed and you're watching and you like what you see and you hear, if you could subscribe as well, that would be very cool. And of course, I do want to thank each and every one of my Patreon.com patrons. It is because of these beautiful, awesome, and wonderful people that I have a roof over my head and food in my belly and food for my pets. I am floundering financially, and these people help me out to no end. If you could help me out too, that would be beautiful and awesome. The links to the Patreon are in the video description. Of course, you don't have to, but it would be awesome if you could. Life is life. Front loading and preloading of videos. You gotta love it. But my little hamster, he is still running around and being good. The only reason I don't show him off is because of his particular sleep schedule. He's usually not awake until about 9 or 10 o'clock, and then I see him. Even if I'm in here at 5:30, 5 o'clock, I usually don't hear him rustling around and doing things until, like I say, 9 or 10 o'clock. And then he'll come out and start drinking, then I see him. And then later in the evening, before I go to bed, he is wildly active. So he's alive, he's fine, he's still doing good, and thumbs up for that. If he's ever awake, comes out for a drink while I'm recording, I will of course bring him out so everyone can see he's a good hamster, and I still love hamsters. They are beautiful and awesome critters. Past that though, I'm really just surviving, and oy vey. I talked yesterday during my vlogging about what had happened with my phone thing and trying to get phone service and getting things all fixed up. So it was, my entire morning was just blown apart and destroyed because number one, I need to wake up just like everyone else does. Everyone has a morning ritual. We're human beings, and I, with the way I am, I need form and structure, routine and habit. And so the first hour and a half of my day being frustrating, trying to work with the systems on web systems and phone systems and trying to get it done until finally I was able to, after an hour and a half. I am proud of myself for getting it done. I was so close to just total emotional meltdown and frustration and death so often, but I was able to hold myself and maintain and get things done and get it worked out. So that was good, but oh my god, that took a huge emotional toll, and in fact I had staying awake problems again later. So it was joyous. I mean, life is life. So I still try to get stuff done, and I edited videos, and I even actually recorded a game video, and that was good. And so thumbs up on that. I need to do some recording today, so that'll be a thumbs up. Routine and structure. Form and structure, routine and habit. It's important. I am a human being. Definitely a thumbs up on that. So I didn't get a whole lot done past just trying to exist, and that's okay. I mean, you don't have to justify your existence on a daily basis. You justify your existence by existing. Any other pressures you feel are largely things, the social construct and cultural pressures. But you have justified your existence merely by existing in this universe of ours. So don't worry about that part. Any problems, issues, and stuff that you feel while you're doing this, again, that's cultural stuff and all that. So it's up to you how much you want to be affected by that. And life is life, again, being a human being. But I still think, and I do as much as I can to be creative, and especially while I'm out walking, I think of all of these things that are story ideas largely. One of the things I did want to mention on the whole story idea stuff is I had read a thing how there's goals that various authors will have as they write, an X word limit. I've always tried to do when I've done that writing stuff is a 2,000 word limit. That's your minimum. But that can be overwhelming, and especially this last year, discovering that, the things I've put on my life's plate have been too large for the plate that I actually have. Well, I found out that one of my favorite writers in the world, who has unfortunately passed on, Terry Pratchett, his daily goal, was 400 words. You hit 400 words, you're golden. You don't have to push further than that. But when you bring your goalposts back inward like that, so it's easier to reach, you're not as stressed out. So maybe you hit that 400 word limit and you're having too much fun writing out this whole scene. So the next thing you know, you've actually written 10,000 words. There's another spot, you're just having a grand old time describing this whole scene. You're not feeling the pressure because you've already hit your limit, so you keep going. Today's a 2,000 or 3,000 word day. But your goal is 400. And you know what? I think I can reach that a little bit easier. There's not as much pressure. So hopefully I can actually start getting that done. Because after all, 400 words, you think 400 words, that's not much at all. Yeah, but in 10 days, that's 4,000 words. And in 100 days, third of a year, that's what, 40,000 words? 40 plus 2 zeros? Or 4, however many it is. That's a lot. You add it all up at the end of the year. What's 400 times 365? What's 4 times that? Well, I don't know, 16,000? 160,000? However many words it is, it adds up into a grand total. So even if you only write that bare minimum, it adds up over time. And that's a good thing. Definitely a thumbs up on that. So I'm going to be trying to work more on that. I've been trying to think more creatively, but with all the pressures of a lot of stuff happen, it's really hard, and I'm having a whole bunch of, I think it's SADS issues, I'm not sure, and it's really, really much more difficult to think and get motivated, and I don't like that. So hopefully it's not because of a physical issue where I'm like dying or anything. Let's hope. I'm gonna hope real hard. Past that, though, let me take a look on my list, because there are things that I sort of wanted to talk about. Not a whole lot. Like I said, I haven't been able to do much thinking at all. On story settings, of course, I don't just fixate on one place. Though I have been, kind of hyper-fixating on this whole inside-outside razor's edge right now. But I still have time to think about other things, like in the bone-hurting juice world, where I've mentioned I have the character Scarbat, who is one of the, a descendant, he's not a child, he's a descendant of the, what is the word, nomadic above ground dwarves that are called the Evandri. There is another character, Milliander, who's one of the Elven Dwarlen, as they're called. The Dwarlen, they are fungal elves. They are literally half fungus and become more and more fungus as they grow. But the fungus still, I mean, they look like people. All the fungal stuff inside of them just acts like a normal body. And then, of course, there's Ilchenka, who's... they're people, they aren't really a race because they're just the animated remains of a zombie plague that killed an entire race of people, and it's been waking up into sentience. So I'm still working on these characters, and if you have been listening for any time, or you're ever curious and you want to go back and listen to my earlier vlogs where I talk about this stuff, Ilchenka woke up 70 years prior, and when Scarbat was 20 years old, he was in the Calendris, which is that land, and met up with her as she first woke up, and 70 years later, he's now pushing 90. They've been bumming around and adventuring for 70 years, and for the past 50, they've also had Milliander involved. So they've just been feeling antsy and adventuring for a long time. Milliander realizes that he's kind of a third wheel in the whole thing. That if Ilchenka had, like, a body and wasn't just animated bones, things would be different in the relationship between the three of them. Because he sees when one of them is gone, when Scarbat's gone, Ilchenka kind of mopes. And when Ilchenka's gone, Scarbat is kind of gray and moody. And when they're together, they kind of are always looking at each other. He knows that if there was any chance that they were a flesh and blood couple, they wouldn't even see him. He doesn't feel like a, fifth wheel on the whatever, so add whatever odd analogy you use to show someone who is uncomfortable and useless. He does not feel that way because they can't do much more. When you're one of the animated zombie plague things, I mean, you're just animated bones. You've never been a human being. You've never been a person. You're waking up, and these people are just becoming sentient and finding out and discovering what's going on with their own bodies, what remains of them. They can feel a little bit on their bones. They can feel touch, mostly as pressure. They're designed through the magical plague to just maintain under great amounts of pressure. They're hard to damage so that they can continue to ravage and kill. So when they wake up, they don't really have a whole lot of sensation. So there's not a whole lot of physical pleasure that one of these creatures can get. So there's not really a physical relationship that Ilchenka and Scarbat could have. I have been thinking about what sort of relationship they might have, where they do want to make each other's lives less lonely. And she mentions to Scarbat at one point that though, they're talking about things and their relationship and life, and he feels bad. And she mentions that though she cannot feel much more than pressure, she can still feel the heat of life. So if he just holds on to one of her bony parts, she can still feel the heat. And that's a pleasurable sensation. So I was figuring that after all this time and the way they really enjoy each other's company, it may be shocking to see if you don't understand what's going on. But even though the new Calendrins don't sleep, they do power down for like 2 hours voluntarily to keep themselves working well. And at night, while Scarbat's sleeping, well, they both go to bed together. And as he sleeps and she just lays there and daydreams and powers down, she feels just the warmth of his body against her bones. Which again, may be shocking if you don't understand what's going on, to walk in and find a strapping, middle-aged male dwarf locked arm in arm with these old bones in a bed. But still, I've been working on that as an idea. And of course, I have opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people, even though I haven't had 25 people in quite some time, for having left a comment. Anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you all if you have left a comment. It is greatly appreciated. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker, and even though I count American Sign Language with my fibromyalgia, cannabis use for pain and mobility, a whole bunch of things, my depression, my ADHD, I'm getting slowly better, but there is a functional limit. I think I'm inching toward it, so my memory ain't great. But we have Radiant Oakmont. I do my best. Thank you very, very much. I try to be careful. It is a crazy world out there. We have Travis Frost. Thank you very, very much. And Cryogenic. Greatly appreciated. We have KIMIXIQ. Thumbs up and thank you. There is the Nameless. Greatly appreciated. There's KURAI. Kurai? And then Abernathy. I hope so. Thumbs up and thank you very much. There is Fenordathoth, greatly appreciated, and a thumbs up. And then there is E.T., thumbs up and thank you. Coco's, greatly appreciated. Johnny K, I am hoping to start live streaming soon. With my various things and executive dysfunction, I'll do my best, so here's hoping. And then we have Dr. Skiviant. Thumbs up and thank you. There is Nayeli Maria. I sure hope I'm close. Thumbs up and thank you. 12 people left me comments over my videos in the last 24 hours. It is greatly appreciated. As stated, anything more than 0 is awesome. Thank you so much. You get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, if only in text, and if only for a short time. And it is appreciated to no end. And of course, with my hands in the air, I do not know what device you're watching this on, so I do not know where the video description for the video is, but inside of it I have links to all of my various channels. If you could check that out, that would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. I also have links to my Patreon. I'm jumping the gun. I also have links to things like Twitter, Facebook, and my Patreon. So if you could become, as stated, a patreon.com patron, that would be beautiful and awesome. It is because of you that I am able to stay alive. I am on a fixed income on disability, and it's not enough to live on. These people are helping me live, and it is truly appreciated. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, I do have a link to a PayPal, and I'm not above grubbing for any spare cash you could send me. When you're got nothing, anything is awesome. If you'd like to help me out without sending money, I do have an Amazon wishlist link where hopefully I've got it updated with things that I need to put on there, like cat food and hamster bedding. Hopefully I can get that done. That would be awesome. Now, of course, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled, and if you cannot or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. And if you could toss me a like, I appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, definite thumbs up, and of course if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciated, and thumbs up on that. Oof da. I'm going to do my best to stay creative. I'm going to do my best to get the things done that I need to get done. There are some phone calls I still have to do, so hopefully I can push through the executive dysfunction and actually get that done. It would be a good thing. And of course, on your end, my end, and everyone's end, please seek creativity for yourself, just to stay active and to stay happy and healthy mentally and physically. It is a good idea. And of course, seek positivity. I spent most of my life as a very negative person. It only helps. It only hurts you and others. On the other hand, you do need to seek balance. Avoiding pain just because it hurts will cripple you emotionally. Pain is a valid human experience, and you do need to experience life. So, with the covfefe bug still raging around the world, if you have to go out among others, please maintain your social distancing, wear a mask, wash your hands frequently, try not to touch your face, get vaxxed if you can. I'm going to sign up for the booster when it's available for me in my, danger bracket and get that done. So thumbs up, we can get through this. Be smart, it's just a disease. It has no political affiliation, and it doesn't care if you think it's a hoax. So please, be smart, be safe. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is, quite frankly, a very good thing.